Hi, Jeremy here with another shot from the golfing curriculum. This time we're just off the green and I'm going to try and teach you a little alternative chip shot. It's called the CHIP-PUTT. Well, there's an easy little shot. As you can imagine, the CHIP-PUTT is chipping but from the putting stance. There's a couple of different adjustments. And it's a really great way to get good contact and get a softer, more floaty kind of shot. Even if you're playing a chip and run like I am doing here with an 8-iron to a pin where I've got plenty of green to work with. 8-iron's good for about 1/3, 2/3, 1/3 flight, 2/3 roll. But the real key to this is in how it sort of doubles up as a shot that you can play in exactly the same style as your putting. So how do we do this? Well, there are one or two adjustments at the address position. With a putt, you want the angle of attack to be pretty much horizontal so that you get good energy transfer from the club to the ball. With a chip, you have to hit the ball first and the ground second. So obviously, we're going to have to change the stance. That said, the rest of it is just like your putting stroke. You rock the shoulders, keep the hands passive, and with that different ball position, different stance, which I'll show you in a minute, you'll get lovely little floaty chips that run out at the right speed. Great if you, like many, struggle with standard chipping style. So what are the adjustments at address? Well, if you imagine this was a putter, I would stand 1/3, 2/3, ball slightly forward, head slightly behind the ball. That would give me the right angle of attack for a putt. For a chip, I'm going to do things slightly differently. I'm going to stand narrow. That way, one of my golden rules for chipping is that your head or your throat falls just in front of the ball, because if you keep your weight forward and you keep your throat ahead of the ball, the divot will always be on the correct side of the ball, after the ball. So if your divot is this side of the ball, good. If it's this side of the ball with your head back, then you've got a problem. Either you'll hit the ground first, or if you miss the ground, the club will be rising as it strikes the ball, and that will give you a thin. So you get two mistakes for the price of one. Absolutely no good. Weight slightly forward, head slightly forward, slightly downward, angle of attack, narrow stance. That's really important. And then we should get a lovely little 1/3, 2/3 swing that runs out at the right speed. It's a great way to take the speed off these shots. Yeah. There we go. All three. Just about the right speed. So I've come to a different green just to show the versatility of the CHIP-PUTT. I'm still going to use the 8-iron in a situation in which we'd have many reaching for the 60-degree or 56-degree sand wedge. So what I'm going to do is take my 8-iron and land it at the base of this bank. Have it running by the time it hits, and that's come out really well. A much easier shot than playing the aerial route. So if you have a shot which looks immediately like a lofted shot, just bear in mind that actually the alternative might just be a little, no, I haven't hit that quite so well, a bit thin, but it's still got up the bank okay. If you make the same mistake on a sand wedge, well, might not reach, might go too far. Contact is much more difficult with a lofted club. So around the greens, loft is absolutely not your friend, and the CHIP-PUTT can be a really great alternative. There you go, that's a lovely one. You can use other clubs too, of course. Not every shot is a runner. If you want it to be 50-50 for flight and roll, then pitching wedge is probably a good idea. And for 2/3 flight, 1/3 roll, you'd use a sand wedge. Technique exactly the same though. And that's the beauty of having good contact. You can vary the club to get a different shot. We'll cover that in a different video. But the CHIP-PUTT, a great way of saving a few shots around the greens, using the stroke that you already have, just minor adjustments on the address position to get it right, and then you're away. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for another shot on the golfing curriculum.